Right guys, so currently we understand how Unity looks, we understand the hierarchy, the scene, the game view, the inspector, projects and console, we understand how to import sprites, we know how to move them around, we know how to make prefab systems. That's all good. What I'm going to show you now is a little bit different. I just want to basically show you how scripts work. So we're going to write a very simple script. I'm not going to go into detail too much because I will come back to that. But I just want to show you how they function, how to get them on objects, all that kind of stuff. So to start with, I just want you to go onto your sprite that you've put in the scene. I want you to add two components, a box collider 2D. So you can just, if I empty this, type box and we'll see box collider 2D. We also want to add something called a rigid body 2D as well. So we can see that that's in there as well. So if we click play, you will see that that just falls. So we need to stop that. So if we right click create empty, we'll just call this platform. So you can change the name up here, or you can press F2 if you want. And we just want to add a component to this. Box collider 2D again, so this is just going to stop it from moving. If we change the scale to 10 and just move it down underneath, and this is going to stop our sprite falling. So we know that that's on there now, it's sorted. So that's the first bit. What we need to do now is we need to add our movement script. So if we right click, go to create C# script, call this movement underscore controller. Make sure if you do a spelling error in this and you want to change it, make sure to change it in the name, but also make sure to change it in the script. I'll come back to that in a second. So double click on there, it'll open something called MonoDevelop up for us. Just give it a second, it may take a while. There we go, right, so it should be loading this up now, I think. Do not send. Oh wait, give me a minute. I don't know what it's doing, I think it's broken. There we go, it's broken for some reason on mine. I did just close it down and open it again, so maybe that's it. Right, so we've got it working now, I think. Yeah, here we go. Right, so here is MonoDevelop. Yep, I'm pretty sure you're kind of looking at this going, oh, code, scary. It's not. We're going to write 4 lines of code and we're going to put in 2 variables, and that is it. That's all we're going to need for this one. As I said before, I'm not going to go into this in too much detail because I'm going to go into that at a later stage. We're just going to put this in, we're going to get it working so you can see how easy it is to grab a script, create a script, drag it onto an object, and it just work. So we're going to reference 2 variables at the start, so public, float, and speed. So what this is this is the speed of our object. Obviously, we need to reference a speed or else it's kind of pointless. Then we're going to do a private rigid body 2D. So you remember we added this earlier. We want the one with capital R. And we're going to call this RB, which is just us shortening rigid body. So there are 2 variables that we're going to reference. Now we're going to write 4 lines of script of code and it's going to work fine. So RB equals get component. As you can see, it does a lot of the work for you. A less than sign, I think it is. Rigid body. Here we go. Let me go. Oh, rigid body 2D. So, yep, it corrected that for me. Close that. Open bracket. Close bracket. Semicolon. Always close a line with a semicolon, or it thinks the line's still open. So we've put that into our start function there. So that's 1 line down, 3 to go. The other 3 go into the update function. So what we're going to put in here is float, move, horizontal. Notice how I've capitalized the H in here but not the M. This is called camel casing. I'll come back to this later on as well. Equals input dot get axis. So this is referencing the axis that we're moving on. So we want to open a bracket, and then we want it, because we're using a string, we want to quote it. So quotation marks, horizontal. Make sure that this is spelled correctly because this is referencing an axis. And then close that line. So there we go. 2 lines down, 1, 2, 2 left to go. Vector, oh, not vector 2, a vector 3. Movement. So this is referencing 3 sets of numbers for movement. Obviously, we've got left and right, up and down, and back and forward. So this is what this is referencing. We want to open bracket, Oh no, we don't. Sorry, equals new vector 3, open bracket, move horizontal, which is something we referenced earlier on, comma, and this is where we're going to reference the y and the z. We don't really need to have anything for them, so we're putting 0.0f, the f stands for float, 0.0f. Oh, I put fg there. So close that bracket, close that line. Right, last line, rb dot add force, which is brought it up for me again, open bracket, movement, which is something we referenced in the line above, times, which is always referenced by an asterisk, speed. Close the bracket, close the line, and that's it, that's done. So we can go to File, Save, close this down or minimize it. As we can see, we've got our script in here, which with all the stuff we've put in there. You want to click on your sprite, you want to drag your script across, and can you see where speed's currently 0? We want to change this. Make sure you put it above 10 because we have to deal with friction in here. So I'm going to put mine at 15. So once that's in, once that's all together, we should be able to click play. Then using the left and right arrows, just move our sprite around. Obviously it's fallen over, but yeah, we can see that that's working. And that is simply how to make a script, how to put it onto an object, and how to get it all working. So yeah, although it sounds difficult, it looks a little bit difficult, it's easy if we do it step by step. So I hope everyone's got on with that well.